Hey friends, welcome back. And today's remix moment, we're going to dive into a topic that hits home for so many of us. And I've talked about it before here on the podcast, but this is a great time of year to bring it back up. So it's this idea of evolving versus revolving. And if you've ever felt like you're stuck in the same pattern, spinning your wheels, but not really moving forward, this episode is for you, my friend. We are going to explore what it means to evolve, why we often find ourselves in the revolving door of life and business, and most importantly, how to break free. So grab your coffee, your favorite notebook, and let's get into this. Welcome to Remix Moments with Martine, where we will remix your mindset one moment at a time. I'm your host, Martine Williams, and I'm here to bring you a quick burst of inspiration, insight, and a fresh spin on your mompreneur journey. In just a few minutes, we'll remix your mindset, energize your day, and keep you moving forward with purpose. Let's dive in to today's moment. So let's start by defining what I mean by evolving versus revolving. So evolving or evolving is all about growth. It's progress. It's intentional change. Intentional keyword there. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone, learning new skills, or making decisions that align with the person you're becoming. So again, imagine like a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. That's evolving. I also had this visual of like a flower, right? Like it starts with the seed, it's planted. There's so many things that create that evolving or that blooming or that growth of that flower, right? There's outside, like how much what the soil, the healthiness of the soil. So when you think about your health, and are you nurturing that? Do we have a good foundation, right? Do we have a good soil there? Also, then there's water and there's sunlight and there's fertilizer. There's all these things that help to evolve the flower. But that's what I want you to visualize is just you kind of coming like blooming, right? And evolving in 2025 versus revolving. So on the other hand, revolving is staying stuck in the same cycles. It's like being on a hamster wheel. And another visual that I came up with is, I don't know if you've seen the squirrels that get on those, like the bird feeders, and they just are spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. Like sometimes that's how I feel, right? When I'm just revolving and I'm going super fast or I'm on the hamster wheel. But I want you to visualize the difference in the caterpillar becoming a butterfly, the flower being the seed and turning into this beautiful flower, versus the hamster wheel experience or the squirrel that's on the feeder. Like you're working hard, you're putting in the effort, but you're not actually going anywhere. Like you're just spinning. And maybe you keep saying yes to things. I keep saying yes to things that you don't really want to do. Or you're holding on to habits that no longer serve you. Like, does any of this sound familiar to you? So let's pause here for a moment and ask the question, are you evolving or are you revolving right now? And if you're not sure, don't worry. We're going to unpack this together, but I just want to let you pause and think about that. When you think about this last year, this is a year again, we're kind of reflecting, and I'm going to do a whole episode on my year in reflection because I want you to see the things that you did do well and the celebrations. And, we want to celebrate as we look forward. But if you are evolving or are you revolving? Because this is where a sticking point is for a lot of us. Why we get stuck in the revolving door. Like, why do we get stuck there in those revolving patterns? And maybe that's a cycle for you. Like I've been thinking about, New Year's resolutions. Y'all know how I feel about New Year's resolutions. And, most of them are null and void by February 1st. And it's because we're excited in the moment and we get super pumped up about it. And this is going to be the year, right? And we set the goals and we go after it. And then what happens? Once the feeling of excitement, the feeling of growth, the feeling of this is going to be the year subsides, then it's what are you left with? So it's who you need to become, not the how you're going to create your results or how you're going to stick to your resolutions. It's who do you need to become, right? And that can be a little scary when you think about change and evolving in your habits. And so what happens is you start out excited, you want to go to the gym and you go to the gym, but you get sore, right? And the feeling of wanting to go to the gym goes away. And so then, you started out going 5 days and you start going 3 days. And then by, day 30, it's like, it was kind of I was excited, but I don't know, I'm not really getting the results yet. And it's just not worth the effort. And I'll just pick it up next time, next year. And we give up on it. And I want to just interject here. This is just the human experience. We all do this. I do this. Even as a coach, I can do this, which is why I have a coach, which is why I invest in the support that I need, whether it's a trainer at the gym, an exercise buddy, a mastermind, a group coaching program. Like, this is why this is part of my yearly investment, is the help, because this is where the coach comes in. The coach comes in and helps you to stay on track. There's nothing wrong with you that you're not able to stay on track. It's something new that you're trying to implement. And having someone there to help you, to support your evolving, helping you to become the person that you need to become to achieve your dreams, helping you to operate as the person that you need to achieve your dreams. Like, that's where the coach comes in to help. And that's not a moment of weakness. That's not a moment of, I should be able to do this all on my own. I hear that. So if I hear that I hear it so much, y'all, on my clarity calls. I should just be able to do this on my own. And that is a belief that is costing you time and costing you money and costing you your evolution as a mom, as a wife, as an entrepreneur. So why do we do this? Why do we stay in these revolving patterns? Well, the first is there's fear of the unknown, right? Let's face it, evolving can be scary because it often means stepping into the unfamiliar territory. Listen, walking into the gym for the first time when you haven't been there in a while, or you've been there before and you didn't stick with it and you have all these negative thoughts about yourself, that's uncomfortable. Our brain wants to keep us in comfort. Our brain wants to conserve energy and keep us in survival mode. And so it's totally normal that that's going to kind of keep you back in that revolving, because you want to go back to the comfort. It's uncomfortable to do those things. It's uncomfortable to think different. It's uncomfortable to like physically go to the gym and get sore. Like, it's uncomfortable. So that's the first thing. The second one is there's the comfort of being familiar. I can't say familiarity. That's a weird word for me to say, but that's the second one. Even when something isn't serving us, it can feel easier to stay where we are because it's at least predictable. Like, chaos is predictable. If you've been living in the chaos, you've been living in the overwhelm, even though you're like, I want to get out of the overwhelm, it's comfortable, it's familiar. And stepping out of that feels way more uncomfortable. And so we're willing just to stay in the chaos. We're willing to stay in what we feel comfortable with. That's why, like, you heard me do an episode on being addicted to the hard, because so many of us have been in that hustle mode for so long. We're so familiar with it. It's almost like comfortable. And when things become have an ease to them or a peace about them, it's like, I'm doing it wrong. That's like one of the things that I have a client will say, well, I must be doing it wrong. It shouldn't be this easy. Like, no, you've become more efficient. You're able to manage your mindset and your thoughts way better. But comfort to what's familiar is another reason why we stay in the revolving door. And third, lack of clarity. If you're not clear on what evolution looks like for you, it's hard to move forward. So again, if you don't know the target and you're not sure what it looks like, then it's going to be hard to move forward because you don't have a specific direction. You're confused. You're in chaos. You're in the overwhelm and you're in the weeds. You might feel like you're just treading water, waiting for the next wave to push you somewhere, right? The good news is recognizing these reasons is the first step to breaking free. Awareness is everything. Awareness of, yep, I did a lot of revolving this year. Not a lot of evolving, a lot of revolving. And this is the year I'm going to do things different. And it's not about just doing things different. It's about being different, thinking different. So many of us, including myself, we go into the actions immediately. And I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. It starts with our thoughts. What are you believing? Do you have clarity? Do you know what you want? Do you know what it's going to take? Are you willing to commit to that? Like, these are the things to stop and to think about and to really process with someone, whether it's a coach. Again, like, we could talk about that on a clarity call. So that's why the 1 hour, it's a free 1 hour call for you to have the opportunity to do that. Go book that today. That could be the first step for you on getting out of this revolving door and into evolving as a mompreneur. Hey friend, can I give you permission today? Like, for real, your own permission slip. Permission to get clear, to cut out the noise, mostly the noise that is going on around in your own mind, in your own head. It's just swirling. And you're asking yourself questions like, why am I stuck? Why am I frustrated? Why am I not making progress on my goals? I want to invite you to a free clarity call with me where we're going to dive in and we're going to identify what are the three main issues that are keeping you stuck. Number two, what are the mindsets around those issues that are actually keeping you from solving for those issues? It's not our skill sets, it's our mindsets that keep us stuck and hold us back. And then number three, identifying what are your next steps? We all have a next step, and we have 100% responsibility for those next steps. Your only next step right now is to go to the show notes and book your free clarity call so that we can work through this. I'm believing in you, and I cannot wait to see you on our clarity call. So signs that you are ready to evolve. Let's talk about the signs that you're ready to move forward. And here's a few for you to look out for. One, you feel restless. Like you're restless, you're unfulfilled in your current situation. Maybe you've hit a plateau in your business or personal life and it just feels like something's missing. Like you can't pinpoint it, but something's missing, something is off. I have a lot of people that book a clarity call and they're like, I don't even know why. I'm like, I don't know for sure. I just know something needs to change. And that in of itself is a really powerful moment just to get clear on that, because you can't make changes if you're not clear on what needs to change, on what's going on. And having someone to look at that from a outside looking in, who's not in the weeds with you, that's powerful. And that alone is worth booking a clarity call, whether you decide to move forward with coaching or not. Another sign is you keep encountering the same challenges over and over again without resolution. This could be a sign that it's time to change your approach. You've heard it said before, I've said it before, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result is insanity. But we do it because why? Because the fear of the unknown, we're comfortable, it's familiar to us, and we just don't know what to do next. And so we just stay in it, hoping and praying that something's going to change instead of actually taking action to create the change. Another sign is that you've outgrown certain relationships, habits, or mindsets. Like what worked for you in the past isn't working anymore. And that's okay. But we want to work on that. We want to decide, okay, what are the relationships? What are the habits? What are the mindsets that I need to develop now? Again, it's the who before the how. Who are the habits? Like who is the person that has these habits or these mindsets? It's going to take my business to the next level. It's going to take my relationships to the next level. You've outgrown them. It's time for something new. It's time to level up. So if any of that resonates with you, take it as a sign that you're on the brink of something new. Change is calling. And as much as we don't like change is calling, and it's required. A change in your mindset, a change in your actions is what's going to create the change in your results. So I want you to think about the courage to evolve. It does take courage. It's not always easy to leave behind what's familiar, but it is worth it. And a lot of us get caught up in the perfectionism. We think if I'm going to make a change, I need to get it exactly right. Like y'all, that's my challenge. 100% transparency. I need to get it right. But evolving isn't about perfection. It's about progress. And here's a little secret. You don't have to do it alone. You do not have to do it alone. Surround yourself with support, whether it's a coach, a mentor, or a community of like-minded women. Having people in your corner makes all the difference in the world. So let's talk about some steps to move forward from revolving to evolving. Let's get practical. How do you move from being the squirrel on the bird feeder into the caterpillar that's evolving into the butterfly? Here's 4 steps I want you to think about. Number 1, acknowledge the pattern. Ask yourself, where am I spinning my wheels? Get honest about the areas of your life and your business where you feel stuck. You don't shame it. You don't judge it. It's just where you are. It's not who you are. It's just where you are right now. So acknowledge the pattern. 2, set a vision for growth. What does the next level look like for you? Not for the mompreneur that you're watching on social media, the one that's in your mastermind. Like, what does the next level look like for you? It doesn't have to be crystal clear, but having a direction helps. Commit to one small change. Evolution happens step by step. There's a lot of things, y'all, that I want to evolve personally and professionally in 2025. And I can't do them all. And you can't do them all. But I can commit to one small change. What's one thing that you can do today to move closer to your vision? And then lastly, again, surround yourself with support. You do not have to do this alone. Find your people and lean on them. And again, I'm going to plug the clarity call here because this is an important, easy, simple next step for you is just let someone else with a different perspective help you process where you've been, where you are, and where you want to go. It's so helpful. So before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. You are capable of evolving. You're not stuck. Being stuck is a mindset, not a position. You're not defined by your past patterns. And every step you take towards growth is a step toward becoming the best version of yourself. If you're feeling overwhelmed, start small. How simple can you make this? Even the tiniest shift can create momentum. And remember, you're not alone, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way. So thank you for joining on this episode of the Remix Moments with Martine. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Come find me on social media, on Instagram, send me a message. You can share it on social. Y'all know I love if you leave me a review. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. So until next time, keep evolving, keep growing, and keep remixing your life. You've got this. And I'll talk to you on the next episode. Well, that's it, friends, for this remix moment. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. And I hope that you are feeling inspired and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Remember, even small moments can lead to big changes. If this moment made a difference, be sure to subscribe, share with your fellow moms, and leave me a quick review. Seriously, it means the world to me to hear from you. And until next time, I am believing in you, and I will catch you in the next moment.